I can't keep up. There was somebody that just, I think Elena just joined.
Lena, thank you for joining us. Welcome home. So, I wanted to, oh my God, I forgot to introduce my friend, my movie star friend here. I get to hang out with the movie star here. This is Drew. He's a movie star, he's a producer. He's not just an actor. So I'm happy to be with all of you. It's a wonderful day. And with me, I have today one of my very, very dear friends. And he is extremely humble and very, very renowned in the world of kirtan. He, was born into Bhakti, has been practicing since he was in the womb, and he came out spewing Bhakti. And his whole life has been dedicated to spreading and inspiring the hearts and minds of people all around the world. And he travels the whole world, and because he's also very dear to my heart, I wanted you all to meet him. And his name is, right here, you can see him, Krishna Kishore. He's an incredible musician. He plays all kinds of instruments. And yeah, I would like you to all meet him. And one of the things that I find very striking about, I call him Kish because his name is very long. How we have a tendency sometimes to butcher the names. But I call him Kish. It's my affectionate way to address him. And he's really made a mark in the world by, systematically cultivating people in their own personal spiritual practices around the world. And so we were having this dialogue just 2 days ago, and I said, let us reconnect and let us do something together for the world. He spent a lot of his time learning Indian classical music. He's an excellent trained mridanga player. You'll hear all about it, this special drum that is used in kirtans, and all kinds of instruments. And also he plays something called the bansuri. Bansuri is a bamboo flute that is an instrument that is directly related to the sound of the heart. And Kish will tell us more about it. So I wanted to ask Kish if he can just tell us a little bit more about what he's doing, other than the little introduction I gave him. And then, show us what is the life of Bhakti look like? Why does he, dive deep into this music of the heart at such a young age? Normally at this age, we want to listen to music of broken hearts, all sad music, and, and somehow he's always thinking of how to bring hearts together and connect hearts together. And he has dove into that particular musical space that is very much the need of society today. So Kish, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Veda. It's my honor to be in the Heartspace and to meet all of you. I actually heard some familiar names that I know. So nice to reconnect with you again. Veda, thank you. My connection with Veda is when I was 12 years old, I went with one of my mentors, Ratataja Swami. Maybe many of you have met him through Veda. Have they met Maharaj yet?
Some of them, yes.
Some, okay. And actually, the reason I was going to Mayapur, we wanted to go, I always heard about the Gurukul, and I was really excited. I got attracted by by actually these really far out games that one of the old students of Mayapur named Madhva, one of Veda's close friends, he was one of our teachers, and he would teach us all these cool far out games like Daribanda and Chu and Gola Chu. Veda's expert at all of those games, by the way. They're like Bengali village games. And I always thought, wow, I want to go to Gurukul. I want to learn more about this. And at the age of 12, I got the, very sober news that my mother had a incurable disease. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So my father, I remember him telling my brother and I, we just got out of a movie theater and it was just us three. And then at the parking lot, he just got us together and he was like, guys, I need you guys to be really strong right now. And we were just like, what happened, Papi? And then he explained everything. And so because they were dealing with that, I had the desire to go, and we had Ritatuja Swami, and he's really like a savior for our family because he even helped financially for us to get to India, my brother and I. My dad was going through a very hard, my mother as well. So we took shelter of the Gurukul. Me, my brother and I went to Gurukul for this experience, 13, it was like 13, 14. And also it was the perfect age because that's the perfect age for teenage boys to kind of have, discipline and community and friendships. And at that time, Veda, he was in saffron cloth at that time. He was a celibate monk, not in the family ashram, not a householder yet. And he was the principal of the ashram, of the principal of the school. So we came under his shelter. And I have to say, I remember when my brother was when we were sent to Gurukul, my brother especially, he's a little older than me. He's a year and 11 days. We're like considered Latin twins, but he's older than me. So, everything was hitting the puberty, the hormones were hitting him first, and he was super rebellious. So him and my dad, like the egos, the teenage boys, I do for 15 years, I've been doing every summer, taking kids from 12 to 17, and I travel around America and Canada and take them to different festivals and teach them yoga for like a 4-week period. And man, that age, 14 to 15, is really something, I tell you. I think Veda is getting there soon with his son, right? And after the whole tour, we were in Mayapur Gurukul for 2 years. My brother, he told my dad, I hated you for sending me to India. But at the end, this was the greatest experience of my life. We learned so much. And Veda was actually a big part of that experience. He was my brother's ashram teacher and also the Gurukul principal. And so I always have so much love, adoration, respect for Veda. And the only reason that we have a really like Sakya relationship, with Sakya means like friendship relationship, is because of his humility and his kindness. Who he allows me to be a very close friend with him, but really he's one of my great teachers. And so my experience in India when I went to Gurukul, we learned so many wonderful things. We had to come back and just dive back deep into finishing high school and college and all of that. And then when I graduated from the University of Florida with a bachelor's in advertising, so within that period, before I graduated, my mother passed away. And I remember I was like 19, 20. And that is when I started to really take all of this knowledge that was, from birth, take it seriously and kind of dive deep and understand it philosophically, and actually, invite Vigyan in my life. So Gyan is knowledge, but Vigyan is applied knowledge. Is another way you can say it is wisdom. So I knew that I had to experience something in order to take it to the next level in my life, even though I was young, because at the age 15, 16, my mom was already, my dad was, me and my brother, we were basically living alone and taking care and paying the bills and going to school. And it was just, so we kind of got like a head start in the material world. Like we had to like just dive deep in and figure things out. And of course we had the support of my dad, but he was, juggling so much. And my mother decided to choose, her final resting place was Mayapur. So Mayapur is a very special place for us, for Veda as well. And so when I started taking, this path of Bhakti more seriously, I was getting close to to graduating from University of Florida. And I remember just, it was my last day. I was doing a presentation at UF, and it was our last presentation for strategies in advertising. And I remember just being there on the floor with all of these, we had to actually do it for a real company. So there was, the board of directors and this and that. And I started getting emotional, like in the beginning, in the beginning introduction, because I was telling him, I can't believe I'm finishing. But me getting emotional, like it was like an icebreaker, and everyone started to laugh because I made it a joke. I gathered myself and was just like, boom. But that's really how I felt, like, wow, I'm actually here. I'm finishing this so I can do what my heart is really pulling me to do. And a couple days later, I got invited to travel to Mexico and go on this Mexico bus tour with another amazing human that Veda knows. His name is Manu. And we go to village and sometimes poor villages that don't really have access to much. We go to the main cities. We go to about like 10 cities in Mexico on a bus, and in these little towns, we just start festivals. We do festivals of, cultural presentations, kirtan, music, books, free food. Just like it's an amazing experience, and these people really love it. And Mexico, the Mexican people are very pious and very living from the Heartspace. And that was in 2008. End of 2008. And then from there, I remember doing a prayer right before my last presentation. I was saying, you know what, like for now, I've just gone through this. I lost my mother, or this, like, please, I just want to go and do kirtan. I just want to, that's it. I just want to do kirtan and dive deep. Because growing up, we did kirtan in our house every day. My dad would have us do 30 minutes of kirtan, and then within our friends, we would hang out. We would do Wednesday bhajans every week, and it was just something natural. It wasn't like we didn't do it to hone up our skills or to like, oh, we want to get known in kirtan. We did it because we loved it. And then all of a sudden, we were just, since 2009, I didn't stop traveling till COVID. Non-stop traveling till COVID. And it was just taken by this wave where we're traveling the 6 continents, sharing kirtan around the world. Then, we were asked, let's make it official. So we made the Mayapuris like an LLC and tied it into Mantrology, which was, it used to be an active, like record label type of thing for the mantra. And so, we did that just to use that as a vehicle to continue to go in a more official way and just travel around the world. And it was such an amazing experience because everything we grew up hearing about how kirtan brings everyone to the soul level, it's nice to hear about it, you know, like connecting on the soul level, but to experience it and feel it and be in Russia, in China, in Africa, in Australia, and seeing all white walks of life, you know, not you know, different religions, different backgrounds, different cultures, just coming together arm in arm, dancing and chanting. I mean, for me, that was a faith builder. For me, I was seeing, wow, this is real. The prophecies of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and of the great acharyas like Bhakti Thakur, they're all coming true, and we're part of this. This is amazing, seeing everybody just connecting on the soul to soul level without worrying about, you know, any external designations, any, just really living from the heart space, really. And along the way, I got married, I have a daughter. COVID stopped me, so I ended up getting a house and land. Before that, I was just still traveling around, and we're still traveling. I just took my family. We did a tour in India, took 20 people for the first time to India and to Rishikesh and Vrindavan and Udaipur. And we just got back. On our way back, we stopped at Dubai, connected with the community there, arrived in Miami, connected with a community there, and just got home a few days ago. And so, yeah, this is kind of my story in a nutshell. And yeah, Veda, maybe back to you.
Thank you, Kish. Yeah, for some of you, he used a term called Gurukula. It's also a term that you may not have heard. It's a place where you, it's a monastery where you are trained in physical discipline, emotional discipline, intellectual discipline, and to how to have the tools to connect deeply to your spiritual essence. And another thing that I noticed about Kish, I think he used the term kirtan. Most of you may know, but it's really, kirtan is, you know, we all know the sound creates reality. Everything we think about, everything we hear, you know, sound is the source of creation. And so kirtan is divine sounds that creates the unity amongst all species of life. So that is the real essence of what Kish does in the world, just uniting people. You have a problem, you're fighting, let's get together in kirtan and let's unite. And all of a sudden, whatever issues that you may be facing in your life will start to disintegrate and dissolve, because those are all issues of the mind. And the real essence of our being is when we connect from the heart. And that is what Kish does his whole life. So now, Kish, I wanted people to hear, you know, your music. I don't know if you want to sing a song or play the flute or something so that people get a little taste of Krishna Kishore.
Okay, sure. I mean, one thing that I was inspired to share just by you know, hearing what you're saying, and even with the name of this meeting, Heartspace, which I think is awesome. I was thinking the other day, we were with a group in Miami, and you know, transformation really occurs when we are clear in what is our desire. And so we just started reflecting, what is your heart's most cherished desire right now? And what was interesting was that it was unclear for a lot of people. And not only that, for some people, like, what's the first thing that comes to your heart? So then they would think, and then reflect, and then be like, oh wait, I think I can go deeper, you know? So I wanted to invite everybody in this heart space. You know, I'll start a little meditation, put this sound. If you can hear it, let me know. Can you hear that?
Yeah, the audio is not going to work great in the Zoom calls.
Oh. Can you hear this?
No.
Oh no, you can't hear that?
There's a live performance audio mode that you can turn on that will stop the filtering of those sounds.
Okay.
It's under
So-
preferences.
Okay.
Now we can.
So the audio. So what do I select? Oh, original sound for musicians. I see. Live performance audio. Do you hear that?
Not yet.
Mhm. Let's see. Maybe it's if
You need to be made the host.
no, let's see. If I let's see. Do I have to click? Do I have to click like accept? I'm clicking here. It says original sound for musicians or live performance audio. Is that what I do? How about that? Do you hear that?
No.
No? Okay. It's okay. We don't need it. I'll use it on my end, and we'll see. Maybe somebody, if we can't figure it out, we'll figure it out next time. No problem. Okay, so I invite everybody in the comfort of their homes, wherever they are, for these few minutes to sit in a comfortable way that you can allow air to flow naturally through your body. The best way to do that is by having your spine straight. Begin to close your eyes. And I would like for you to observe how the air enters and exits your nostrils. So take one deep breath through your nose and let it slowly come out as you exhale. Now do that again, but I want you to notice with your mind, I want you to notice the temperamental change of the air that enters and exits your nostrils. You'll notice that in the inhale, the air is a little cooler. And in the exhale, it's a little bit warmer. Put your mind there. Every ounce of cool air that you inhale, and every ounce of warmer air that you exhale. As you deepen your breath, and deepen your meditation, centering yourself in this present moment. I want you to notice how sometimes certain thoughts will try to come and pull you here or pull you there. Observe those thoughts. Let them come and let them go. And as you observe these thoughts coming and going, please come to the realization that you are much deeper than these thoughts. Beyond the mind, even beyond the ego. You are Satchid Anand. Your true essence is ever blissful, full of knowledge, and devoid of time, eternal. Within this realization of presence, of empowerment, as I start to play the flute, I would like for you to meditate on what is your heart's desire. Bring that heart's desire to the forefront of your consciousness and observe it and see where it's coming from. And as you listen to your heart's desire, you can see if it's coming from a selfless place. If it's coming from the heart space, unconditional love. Can you hear the ragini now?
Yes, but we could not hear the flute.
Really?
Yeah.
How about now?
Yes. So please play now.
So to top off your meditation, please think of a wonderful teacher in your life. It can be one that's sitting right in front of the screen. And just feel gratitude. Because our inspirations, our spiritual teachers, they have sacrificed so much in order to shed light on our path. Sometimes they tread paths that we don't have to. They did it in order to share a beautiful realization. And I'm sure everyone here has had a profound experience, maybe with a lesson that a person or even life has given. Gurus can come in many forms. In this sacred text of the Bhagavatam, there talks about this one sage who has 26 teachers, 26 gurus, and he sees them in nature and he sees them in experiences. So let us feel grateful, because gratitude is the most powerful healing energy that we can invite to our life, actually. And allow that gratitude to fill up in your heart space and travel throughout your entire body as healing energy. And with that gratitude, we'll come and close this meditation and land back where we were. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kish. Thank you all for joining in on this meditation. We're working on the sound. We lost the sound of the flute for a while, but it's back. And so we have 10 minutes. I wanted to ask Kish to share a little bit about what it is, the heart of a bhakti. What does it mean? How do we practice this? This heart of bhakti, that whoever we see, we just are able to connect with them on a heart-to-heart level, and we can filter out the mind and the egos trying to compete and compare and race to be the best. So Kish, please tell us your secret. How do you connect with the hearts of people in the world? What is your secret? How do you maintain that frequency?
Trying to impose a realization or even a way of living or a way of thought onto people or even a loved one, it's something that's very unnatural, and unfortunately is something that we see a lot. But if we can really utilize all these teachings and experiences to soften our hearts and just share that love, then the reciprocation is very natural. And that's how we're able to have real loving exchanges with everybody. There's this beautiful poem, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadhena kirtaniya sadahari. And in this beautiful poem, it actually gives us the secret key in order to surpass false prestige. So what is this false prestige? It's connected to imposing other people to treat you in a certain way. Because false prestige means, just say, I was born in a rich family, or I have a certain position, or I can even be under the spell of false prestige by spiritual realizations that I have attained, or any designation. What happens, we have this sense of prestige that we feel a sense of entitlement of how we should be treated, how we should be reciprocated by. But in this poem, it gives us the answer of how to transcend this false prestige. Amanina mana dena. What does that mean? Amanina mana dena. It means to give all respect unto others. But this is the hard one. Not expect any in return. So you give all respect unto others, and you don't expect any in return. And in the beginning of the poem, it says, Trinada pi sunichena. One must learn to be as tolerant as a tree. Now we can see in our daily life, how is a tree tolerant? Not only do trees stand there withstanding the scorching summers or the freezing winters, what do? Even though a tree is receiving the direct sunlight non-stop, what does it give? Shade, fruits, flowers. So sometimes in our life, we may be experiencing inconveniences, and then we may think that it's a justification in order to be unkind or not be compassionate or not be loving. And so in my own personal experience, my mother, she's my first guru. And I saw her withstand so much austerity of the body. I mean, she was, her nervous system was closing, you know, she became bedridden. She lost flesh, she was skin and bones. Even though she was experiencing so much pressure from material energy, which we can't escape, she wasn't judgmental. She would never treat any of her caretakers or us like, you know, like a grumpy old woman that was disabled or sick. So I took those teachings very, very deeply within my heart to try to be like her. Actually, she's my first guru. How can I be like my mother and see the reciprocation of those around me? Of course, I have a long way to go, but you ask, like, what do I do in order to open the heart of myself and the others and connect on a heart-to-heart space, in a heart-to-heart place? And by practicing this tolerance of being like a tree, of trying to offer all respect unto others and not expect any in return, this is real wealth. This is, for me, you know, this has been the key of loving relationships, of the 6 loving exchanges, which I'm sure Veda has spoken to many of you about. But that is, you know, kind of my humble response.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Kish. We didn't get enough time, but I'm hoping to have Kish join us in somewhere so that we can have more of his association and his Sangha, his experience, his realizations. Our time is up, and I just wanted to thank you all for joining us. It is such a wonderful treat to be with all of you and celebrate the beautiful heart space that we have from all over the world. Please keep in mind, the key to happiness in life is to be centered in yourself, which is your heart. And what we aim to do every Saturday is to bring you to your heart. And today it was a treat to have Kish with us. Very busy traveling all over the world, but to make time to see how he centers himself in his heart. And hopefully we can all take this lesson from today's discussion, how important it is to practice tolerance and humility. and continue to give even though it's hard to do it. So this is our message for today. And I think there is a few housekeeping announcements. I know that I will be in Nashville. So those of you who are in Nashville, or if anybody knows anybody in Nashville wants to join me, and we'll be traveling here with the monk mode. We'll be at Cindy's yoga studio.
Oh, you're going to Nashville, Veda?
Yes.
You know what? I mean, if you go to Tennessee more often, uh, we got invited and it just got confirmed as being shared around. The Mayapuris, all of us are coming together in September to Tennessee for the Body and Yoga, uh, uh, was it Body and Soul Yoga Festival in the caverns of Tennessee. So it's kirtan and yoga in the caverns. So maybe you can come with us.
Yes, what you would like to do is, if you don't mind, to share that, and we will share it with everyone so everyone will have access.
All right.
And people can definitely, I would also like, if you would like to get to know more about Kish, we're hoping to do an Instagram live as well. You can follow him on Instagram, Kish Rico, and you can find him there. Beautiful meditations and kirtans that he's doing. Yes, Keshavi, you have some housekeeping announcements.
Well, actually not yet, but Maggie had a question about the full translation of the poem, Kish, you were sharing. What is the full translation?
I can send it in the City Sangha group.
Okay.
Any other announcements? We may not have time for questions because it's already 9 o'clock. Nitai, anything? Drew, you have anything?
We only have a couple spots left in our Connecticut retreat if you want to stay on campus. So yeah, book now if you want a room. Otherwise, we do have commuter passes and commuter options on where to stay. That will be coming soon.
When is the Connecticut retreat?
July 19th through 21st in Madison, Connecticut, and I'll just put the link in the chat.
Who is welcome to come?
Everybody.
What if I'm old and disabled?
Perfect. We have ADA rooms.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Those help me. Now I shall subscribe to your retreat. Okay. Anything else? Drew, you have anything? Oh, I didn't realize, but we do have a YouTube page that Nitai has set up. For those of you who missed the calls, Nitai, what is the YouTube page? I never check. Nitai takes care of the social media, so I never check what's going on, and he tells me all the time. Keeps me posted. So you have any updates, Nitai?
You should also be meeting Ryan Hughes and
Yeah, I was just copy pasting. Oh, yeah, there is YouTube, which is called Vedaji, and also Instagram, which is also Vedaji. And in case anytime you need information on any of the retreats, there is a single link which is in the chat as well. It has links to all the retreats, all the social media, linktree.ee/Vedaji. So yeah, it has all the links for all retreats.
Okay.
You can find it there.
Thank you, Nitai. Thank you, Keshavi. And thank you all, beautiful souls. And I really look forward to seeing you again next week. And I hope to connect with more hearts in the coming days. Namaste, everyone. Oh, Brittany, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Kish.
And everyone from Bulgaria, Desi, and Ekaterina, Laura,